Hello and welcome to Third Eye TV Africa. I am your host, Joy Malik, and joining me is Ismaila Yahaya Kana. Mr. Kana, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, today we are shedding light on a crisis that's been unfolding in the Mararaba Udege community, a story that has gone largely unreported in the media. Reports have emerged of incessant killings and tribal clashes over land ownership, resulting in the loss of over 40 lives. The conflict, which originated within the Eben and Angazo people of the Afo tribe, has spread to other clans, leaving a trail of destruction and despair in its wake. Despite the severity of the situation, the crisis in Mararaba Udege has received little attention from the media and the general public. But we believe that it's essential to bring this story to the forefront to give a voice to the people affected and to explore the root causes of this conflict. Joining me to discuss this critical issue is Ismaila Yahaya Kana. Mr. Kana, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, can you tell me more about the situation and this violence?
Well, let me start with clear pointers. The Eloi people, which you have called Afo, we're also called Afo, but of course our name is really Eloi, but that's by the way. We are one people, we have one history, one ancestry, and for convenience and perhaps in search of land, because our people are mostly agrarian, when we left, we settled in the hills first of Kana, and so in search of land for farming and all of those things, some of our people went to the lowlands, and they are referred to as Elohimbeji, or what people call Ambu, and some stayed back in the uplands, and they are called Elohimbeki. Now, for more than 2 centuries, we have been living like that in peace, and there have been no problems. We've never had any serious disagreements amongst ourselves. I mean, like I said, we are one tribe. So sometimes around last year, a situation started unfolding. We had that all of a sudden some people decided that Maraban Odege, which is a village area, traditionally it's a village area under Yenu of Odu district, and that issues started cropping up that they said it belongs to them. I don't want to say the Ambo people, it's just a group of people. And they are basing the claim on the fact that Maraba belongs to the people of Ebe, a village that is very close to Maraba, and that they want to take ownership, but through the coronation of a village head in Maraba. Now, remember, Maraba already has a village head that normally appointed by the Osage, who is the paramount ruler of all of our people, and there is already one on ground. And these people decided they wanted to appoint another for themselves. They called him also Marabawambu, to mean that this is the traditional leader, traditional ruler of Afo people in Maraba, but that are from the lowlands. Now, at that time, we tried to head off this problem because we knew it was always going to lead to trouble. Many stakeholders tried to stop the whole coronation, all of these things, but it proved abortive. They went ahead with the appointment, and this person was appointed. Now, things got to a head when the current chief, traditional chief of Odu, has a farm somewhere along, Maraba is along the new Benue Road.
Benue Road, yes.
Yes, around that takes you through Loko Weto Bridge. So he went to his farm. Of course, like I said, we're agrarians. It was that time of the year that they need to go and clear the land in preparation for farming. And then he went to the farm, and we were told that some people accosted him in the farm. And in the ensuing kerfuffle, somebody was shot. that was the first life that was lost. And the person who did this shooting is known. And as expected, this person was arrested and was taken. Of course, we thought for prosecution for murder or
Yes,
whatever
of
name they
course.
want to call it. Unfortunately, 3 weeks later, the person was released.
Really.
The person returned home to a triumphant welcome.
Wow.
One thing led to another, and everything went haywire. As I talk to you, it has been a cycle of attacks and reprisals. Agbazo, like you mentioned, is a ghost town. Arsonists and attackers have laid waste to the land. Maraba itself has become a ghost town. Many of the people there have left. Many of them are now IDPs in Nasarawa, in Aguada, most of the neighboring settlements where they now are. And Ebe has also been ransacked. Unfortunately, even the traditional ruler of Ebe has been lost to this crisis, and they've been, like you said, modest figures. At least 40 lives have been lost. Even recently, I think it was on Friday last week, some attackers went to Odu, set some houses ablaze, and very painfully, a young mother and her child were burnt
Okay.
alive inside one of those houses. So, to summarize it all, the crisis is between one tribe. It's an intertribal clash, and it's as a result of chieftaincy, which has snowballed into a claim for land, and I suspect resource control.
Why?
Yes, because the Afoland has become the epicenter of lithium mining and processing in Nigeria, not just Nigeria, Africa.
Africa.
The largest lithium processing plant is in Indo, a community under Afoland, Danfeng. So I think because for more than 40 years, Maraba has held that same status. Now, you begin to wonder why now? I suspect it is because of royalties, perhaps that people thought will accrue to whoever is a traditional ruler or all of those things that may still come, that this is happening. This is just my thought, but there's something that we are still missing.
Okay. So, what are the solutions and efforts being taken to curb this crisis?
Well, a lot of efforts have been expended to that effect. When the first when the first shot was fired, stakeholders came together to quickly nip the whole crisis in the bud. The Oswajiri, who is the paramount ruler, set up a committee that was headed by Waziri. His Waziri, Commodore Yaya Ona, retired. And they tried to see how they can manage the situation before it gets out of hand. That failed, unfortunately. And so the governor set up another committee under the former governor of the state and former IPC national chairman, Senator Dr. Abdullah Adamu. Again, while the sittings were taking place, I think some parties to the crisis refused to come for the final presentation of the report. And so the committee's work was more or less inconclusive. We have had three phases of this breakdown of law. When the first person was killed, and the arrest was made, and this person was released, and when he came back, the crisis now took firm roots. Provocations here and there, and so the first war broke out, and that was when the governor set up another committee under the chairmanship of the Emir of Karshi, His Royal Highness Mahmoud Bako III, to come up with resolutions towards taking care of the crisis. Again, that report was submitted to the governor, I think, more than a month ago, if not more. And while we were waiting, the person that was appointed, the Oswambu in Maraba, uh, it's popularly called Gona, was killed by unknown assailants in Maraba. Again, that triggered another cycle of crisis with more killings, more burnings of houses, more arsons. And on, I think, earlier this month, earlier in January, the Professor Abdul Kalim Kana, SAN, the current legal advisor, national legal advisor of APC, alongside the coalition of Afro professors and Afro Youth Mobility Forum, came up with a summit, an Afro Youth Summit that was held in Kefi of Nasarawa State. Now, from that summit, a communique was put together, and part of the what part of the resolutions of that communique was for the governor, Engineer Abdullah Adamu and Abdullah Isule, to host for a lot of stakeholders and with a view to finding a lasting solution. Now, that summit happened on Monday at the government house in Lafia, also in attendance, and their parties to the crisis, because the Odu people who are laying claim are not laying claim anyway. By virtue of traditional authority, Maraba is under Odu, and the Elohimbeji were also laying claim to Maraba. Both parties were given a chance to express themselves with regards to the ownership tussle, which they did. And at the end of the day, the governor, in his wisdom, decided to suspend every traditional ruler in Maraba and hinted at other resolutions that may include elevating the status of Maraba perhaps into some sort of a mayorate, so that it may no longer be under Odu or even anybody else for that matter. But all of these things are tentative. What is certain is that he has suspended the traditional ruler of Maraba in whatever hue, whether that of Ambu or Eki. And yesterday, the governor, for the first time, as part of our communique from the Kefi Summit, of course, also wanted him to go see for himself what has transpired and the destruction. And yesterday, he obliged us. He was at he went to Agbazo, where he saw for himself the destruction. He went to Maraba, he saw the destruction for himself. He went all the way to Odu. And we are happy that he also went into with people from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs in Nasarawa State to assess the damage and see how those that have been displaced can be supported to return to their homes, hopefully, of course, under the hope that the crisis has been ended with this intervention.
So, how confident are you that this effort will yield a good desired result?
Well, I cannot say I'm too confident, but at this juncture, we can only hope for the best. But these are our people, both ways. I am from the uplands, and I cannot tell you that I am only from the upland. I have family in the lowlands, people that have stayed in our houses. We have married across board. Like I said, we are one people. And it's even a shame to begin with that we need outsiders to intervene in our crisis. But since it has gotten to this point, It is only fair that we do ourselves some service by shooting swords. Unfortunately, we had yesterday night we had rumors of an attack in a village in Aguazo. Some people are saying it did happen. Some people are saying it was a false alarm. And as I speak to you, I can't really say for sure what really transpired in Aguazo. But if there was actually an attack in Aguazo yesterday, then it is a great shame that after we had brought the governor and we have spoken to ourselves, we have collectively agreed to sheath our swords. If people can still go ahead and continue this cycle of attack, which of course may give birth to reprisals, then I am not so sure and confident that whatever has been said is yielding any results. But I only hope that if it's a rumor, and if the attack is a rumor in Agbazo, that may elevate my confidence level to about 70%. And I am being very careful here because I know our people. We don't fight often. We don't fight. We are very peaceful people. But once we take up the gauntlet, it's very hard to let go. And so we can only hope that our people will heed the call of the governor, will heed the call of all our stakeholders. Many of us have been having sleepless nights. We've been running from pillar to post. We have been talking to people, talking to our brothers, talking to youths, talking to elders to see how we can end this thing. So there you have it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kana, for sharing more light on this matter.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Well, we've come to an end of this discussion. Many thanks for watching. My name is Joy Malik. Bye for now.